Jason Paul Field.
Hello, Indrani.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming today.
Fantastic. No, I'm honored and a little nervous.
No way! Don't be
wonderful.
nervous.
It's
Don't
wonderful.
be nervous.
No, but good
You're
nerves.
a wonderful
Good
actor.
nerves. Thank you.
That's good. I love your work. You're a wonderful actor. So that's why I wanted to chat with you today.
Thank you so much.
You got to share with the artist.
That's right.
The discussion. I ask everybody the same thing to start. Let me
twist my
acting?
mustache.
Yes. Why acting? Why did you choose it?
Well, I didn't choose it. It sort of chose me. I was, at the time when The Mistress revealed itself to me, I was in high school. I was in a pretty dark, turbulent time. I was building a career as a solid juvenile delinquent. I had been expelled from a couple of high schools. I was meddling in criminal enterprises on a petty level, but I was pursuing it.
Yep.
And I wound up in this inner city vocational school for disciplined problem kids. And so, you know, when you're sent to a vocational school, they're not looking at you as college material. It's kind of like, pick a vocation and then we'll help you get a job.
Right.
So I was going to sign up for cosmetology because
No way.
that was one of the options. And I was thinking to myself in the room, like, oh, I'll be the only guy in cosmetology. This is high school, you know,
Thinking
this is like
smart.
middle of junior year. I'm like, I'll be the only guy in the cosmetology department. And as I'm just about to sign in for cosmetology, this guy behind me, who became a dear friend, leans in and he's like, yo, man, my cousin already went through this shit. Choose performing arts. All you got to do, sit in the back and watch a movie and the bitch give you a C.
That's genius.
And that was all it took. And I was like, really? That sounded very compelling to me. So I signed up for performing arts. I signed up for the tech side. So we would come into school in the morning and just get a list of hang these lights. We learned the fly floor. We learned how to hang sandbags and paint flats. And then one day, there was auditions for the spring musical and everybody had to go. And me and Charlie, we took part of some illegal mind-altering reefer and thought it would be a good time to sit in the back and watch the spring musical auditions. And we were being pretty vocal, making fun of the kids going up on stage. And the teacher was this Italian woman, Beverly Smith, and running a gruff program, you know, and dealing with people, kids like us. And I was being pretty vocal and she turned around and she said, zip it, shut it. And I kept pushing the envelope and finally she snapped, which was ultimately my goal. And she throws the script and she's like, you know, you think you're so tough and so cool sitting in the back. You're just a little chicken shit. You want to show me what guts you have? Why don't you get up on the stage and do what these kids are doing? Because these kids have guts.
Nice.
And she called me out in front of all my juvie friends, you know.
Yes.
And I couldn't have it. So I hopped up on stage and kind of mocked my way through this audition and stormed out afterwards. And the next day I got to school and all my homies were like, yo, man, you got cast in the lead. And she had cast me as Billy Flynn in Chicago musical. And I didn't want to do it. I was like, I was just, you called me out. I was like returning the serve, you know. And she's like, that's cool. You don't have to do it. And then I'll flunk you and you can repeat your junior year. And if you come back next year, you can either do another vocation or I'll cast you in the lead of whatever play I'm doing next year.
That's great.
So she, you know,
I love this
she
woman.
cornered me. No, she's amazing. I mean, she really saved my life because I was definitively traveling in another path. And I do remember then going through the rehearsal process and pretending to everyone that I hated it, when inside I was falling in love. And opening night, there's the Billy Flynn number that opens for Billy's character, the All I Care About Is Love number. And at the end of it, a good portion of the house stood and cheered my number. And among them was my parents and my grandparents. And at that juncture of my life, I just remember looking out. It was the first time that I had really received this kind of validation and this unconditional love feeling. And I was like, it clicked for me, oh, home. Like I'm home.
It's great.
You know, and then everything is in my life as far as being as an actor started from that moment. Like that moment, standing there and looking out and having that click of home when, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. This is who I am.
That's a beautiful thing. I hope you have reached out to this woman in the past. I don't know if she's still around.
Oh yeah, no,
and let her know.
Yeah, she's been involved in my life, and we're still friends on Facebook, and we communicate. It's been a while now, but we still communicate. And yeah, she's again, I always tell her, I'm like, you saved my life, because where I was going, and it's a testament to teachers. I believe in the power of good teachers and people who are guiding the stars, so to speak. Because
well, like you, and, it's a wonderful thing to watch when you guys just find something, or if you're struggling, it's like, it's okay, we'll get there eventually. It's all good. Oh, what a wonderful woman.
Yeah.
Okay, who actors really do you look up to? It's like, oh man, their work is like love.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
I agree.
Denzel Washington. Meryl Streep.
The goddess.
Judi Dench. Those Christian Bale. Certainly Heath Ledger had some phenomenal work in The Joker that I was very inspired by.
Why these people? All these particular actors. What is the thread that gets you?
I think it's the level of commitment and the fearlessness to explore all the possibilities until it unlocks. Sometimes I've had the experience of watching actors who I think are great actors, but I've had the experience of going, oh, I think maybe they settled for that. Like it worked, and so they kind of settled for that. And whenever I'm watching Daniel Day and Meryl Streep, and Meryl Streep in particular, what I love about her is it always just seems so effortless. But it isn't, but it appears to just fall out, and that's great, which, kind of a juxtaposition to Daniel Day, who you can tell there is a meticulous, methodical process at play.
Professor.
Yeah, there's all kinds of gears turning underneath those eyes, but it's a testament to hours spent examining how those gears can work and how it manifests into different voices and the detail that he puts into all of his work. It's just so nuanced. I really love that. And then Denzel Washington, I think he's kind of underrated as one of the great actors, but when I look at his body of work, Russell Crowe's another one that I think is, he's kind of underrated for what he's accomplished and the level of skill that he applies to all of his work. Yeah, so those are all. And then there's some actors that are lesser known that I really love, like Will Patton is a character actor that I just think is phenomenal, who just everything I ever see him in, no matter how small or big it is, it's always so... also Steve Buscemi. I just finished watching Boardwalk Empire, which I know is many moons ago, but
great
phenomenal work. And so I really love actors that are able to bring their own sense, but paint it with such nuance and detail, and then how they deliver it. It's just, it's a beautiful thing what we do.
Yes. Don't you feel lucky?
Yeah.
It's like, man,
yeah.
I feel so lucky. Is there, I asked this to somebody before, is there a time where you like attempted some kind of character and you were like, I cannot get there. I can't get this human being. It frustrated the life out of you. It was big challenge?
I have to say, I feel like I go through that experience with everybody I've done. I think it's one of the humiliating aspects of being an actor is no matter how long you do it, every time you do it again, you have to start from zero.
Yeah.
And they're never built exactly the same way. So even though we might have these guidelines or teachers or, we don't really know how to open up those things. And so I definitely, I do. I go through a panic with every character. Like I'll be so happy to book a job and have worked on booking the job. And then I get the job and I'm like, now what? It's like knocking down the Jenga blocks. And now I gotta figure out how to do this all over again. But yeah.
Well, it shows you care.
Yeah.
If anybody really cares about this, it's like, you go through this stuff, you rip everything apart. It's like, wow, you're trying to find clues, something to unlock it for you in an authentic manner.
Right. And that's where it can also be very tricky because if you have not parallel or connective tissue to the character you're playing, where you're really having to use your imagination work or find it through some alternative means, that can be very scary because you don't know where the opening is, you don't know where the door is, and you just literally have to open yourself up to the universe and be like, show me the way.
Guide me forth.
That's right. And but I do believe that as artists, when you do that, when you put yourself in that vulnerable position of opening yourself up and saying like, I don't really know where to go and just show me, I think you can bend the unruly universe to your will by just opening yourself to it and not accepting or settling for the first thing that comes, being willing to dig and find, go down the rabbit hole a little bit. And sometimes you go through the rabbit hole and arrive back and go, oh, that first thing was the choice.
That was the thing.
But I couldn't fully know that without going all the way through all of those other explorations and going, for sure. This is it. Now I know. Kind of like
dating,
with
right?
Confidence.
Like date different people. See what you like. See what works. Don't settle on, you're the one.
And then you can come back and go, oh, wait, you were the one. And hopefully they're still available.
It's great. Please be single still.
Right.
It's great. I love that way of looking at it. Mm-hmm. Okay, you just brought me to a question. What is it that you like about collaborating with other artists? Or do you hate it?
No. I love it. I mean, I think the most exciting aspect of collaboration is when you find yourself in a room with like-minded and like-spirited people that have a common goal, and your bar then becomes infinite. Because if you're in a room with super talented people and you all have a common goal in mind, then there's that excitement that like anything is possible, and let's see where this could go and all the infinite possibility. And that to me is super exciting. At the beginning of acting professionally, I did a lot of theater festivals that were like Humana, American Contemporary Theater Festival, where we were developing new plays and working with the writers, and it was really exciting. I loved that collaboration because as an actor, you get to really infuse your voice into the creation of a character, and you're building it with kind of from the ground floor, and then getting to show it to an audience who's hearing these words and seeing this world for the first time, and that's really exciting to me.
Like that. Okay, last question. See, we come to the last question.
We have arrived.
What is she going to ask me? Advice for people beginning, because you've been doing it for a little while. Because Because people can jump in thinking they want it, and then they tap out maybe prematurely.
Yeah.
Advice.
I'm weary to offer advice, but
It doesn't have to be necessarily career, but spiritual.
Yeah, I think that would be what I would impart is to learn how to keep your soft heart, to maintain your sensitivity, and learn how to build up that resiliency, because you're going to go through disappointment, you're going to go through rejection, you're going to go through doubt, you're going to question your path. Though all of those experiences could lead a sensitive artistic soul to close up or build walls or put a force field around what makes you uniquely you and the artist that you are. And so it's easier said than done, and I think everybody has to find that differently. And I think the longer you're in this business, the more challenging it can be to maintain that sensitivity and that openness and that optimism towards the work, when the business can push you around a little bit, and you're going to hear things that people say, oh, you got to be this way, or you got to be that way, or you should do this, or this is what you got to do. And it's like, how do you maintain just that joy and sensitive, open spirit, that child, the being a child. I would say that would be my advice is figure out how to do that for yourself, to protect yourself and protect your artist spirit as you go through this path, because there's going to be challenges, and you're going to have to, to survive it, you're going to have that mechanism in place. Yeah.
Thank you, Jason.
Jason Paulfield.
All right, thank you so much. This is great. See, painless.
Very